y'all, welcome to my channel. I am Debbie with the Crafty Diamond. Today is my weekly WIP and Chat, and if you are not familiar with what a WIP and Chat is, that is a work in progress. I am going to be working on this diamond painting, and guys, I am almost finished. I am so excited. This one is Professor Oliver McCrum. It is by Cheryl Baker from Diamond Art Club, and so far, this has been my favorite diamond painting of this entire year. I think it's even my favorite painting from last year, even if you've included all the ones I did last year and this one. This is by far the tops. It is the best squares I have ever gotten from Diamond Art Club. They fit perfectly. There's been little to no trash, and I am just so excited that I'm almost done. Now, this has been a lot of fun. I started working on this a couple of months ago for the Cheryl Baker event hosted by Cindy, and I just did not get finished with it. I could have if I focused just primarily on this one, but I have several WIPs on the go. And so I did this one, I did others, and so now I am coming to the end of my journey with this one. I do have several other Cheryl Bakers and in my stash, and I know I'll be buying more in the future when more come out from Diamond Art Club. I am sure there will be more, and so I will definitely have my eyes on these, but I cannot get over how perfect that this is. I will have a post completion on this whenever I do get finished, along with kitting down my drills. With my drills, I am using my credenza, and I'll pop in a link to that if you're interested. They have a Facebook link, and then I'll also just post in a photo of my credenza. It was a little pricey. The credenza itself isn't bad, but the shipping was rather expensive. But this was a Christmas present from last year. It's the first canvas that I used with this one, so that's even more special with the Professor. And when I kit this down, I'm going to be using this again soon. Not sure for what, but I can use up to 75 colors, DMC colors, with this credenza. And so these are the actual trays that come with this credenza. So that is what I am using for a tray. I'm using my Enablers Outpost pen, which I absolutely love. I am also using from Branda's Crafty Corner Cinnamon Clove. And to me, with this cinnamon clove, it smells like how my mom used to have at Christmas. She had these potpourri bowls everywhere in the house. And that's exactly what it smells like, just fresh potpourri that she used to have. And that kind of, is sentimental, brings back a lot of memories. And I just love having this out while I'm working on this canvas. So definitely a lot of memories, a lot of, sweet, good memories with this one. And also the fact that I am a college professor and he is the professor. And so I want to have this one framed. I'm thinking about going to Hobby Lobby and see if I can have this one dry mounted. But this one may be too big for dry mounting. I'm really not sure. I don't know what the actual dimensions are, the maximum to have it dry mounted. I think it would look good dry mounted, but I'll have to check and see. I don't want to spend a fortune on having it framed, but I've only had one professionally, well, it wasn't even professionally framed, but it was a very expensive frame that I have for Elizabeth, which was my first Diamond Art Club. And that one I spent a mint on for the frame, but it looks gorgeous in that frame. So I think for this one, because he is a little special, I am going to have this one framed. I'm going to put this in my office at work. It doesn't say professor on it, but he kind of looks like a professor. He looks, very studious and very debonair. And so I'm thinking I'm going to put this one in my office at work. I think it'll be a nice piece to include. So that's probably what I'll do sometime soon, hopefully. I am also using in my single placer a glue dot, and I really like using glue dots. I have so many boxes and boxes and boxes of glue dots from when I was really into scrapbooking, and so now I am into card making, but I don't really use that many glue dots for card making. These are the larger glue dots. I'm just cutting them in half and using them because I want to use up what I have. I have some micro glue dots, but not as many as I do with the regular glue dots. So if you're considering glue dots, I would highly suggest the micro glue dots because they are smaller, they fit into the barrel of the placer better. And I only use these for a single placer, and I use Randa's for a multi. I've also experimented lately with Patsy's putty, and I won a gift card from Patsy's Putty. The owner is Holly, and she has drops once a month. I think it's the last Friday of the month, and I did purchase several others from her, and I love that putty. It just wasn't already in this pen that I'm using. It's in a different pen, and I wanted to use this pen, and the putty is fresh in this pen. So I didn't want to take this putty out, didn't want to replace my multi-placer in this pen, so I'm not using that one now. That's another really good one. So now I have several others that I'm liking. I'm trying out different types of putty and different waxes. I want to experiment now. I know what's my favorite, so now I want to branch out to see what else that there is out there. I also want to start branching out on different shops that I'm purchasing from for my diamond paintings, and that's one of my goals for next year. And I will go over goals towards the end of this year for next year. But first of all, how are you guys doing? Let me know in the comments. What are you working on? I hope that you had a really nice weekend and that you had some time for yourself. I hope that you have a great start to this week already. I do like to film my WIP and Chats either on Sundays or Mondays. Just depends on how noisy it is around here and on what's going on. And so this week I was able to do it on Sunday afternoon. It has been a really nice, kind of quiet weekend for us. Not a whole lot going on. We did go to an apple festival that was not really close to our house, but it was a couple hours away. It's in an area that we have talked about moving in the next couple of years or so. And so we just wanted to go. We were, just wanted to get out of the house. We were looking around, and then I heard that there was an apple festival going on. And so we thought, you know what, why not? And so we kind of headed out. It was a nice day for it on Saturday, but it was rather breezy, rather chilly. And we just kind of walked around. They have a lot of craft booths and different things, and I thought, well, I just want to see, what they've done. We have not been in years and years. I don't think that my husband had ever been, and so we were just, walking around, got some fresh apples. That was super nice. So did that and looked around for a little bit, and then we just kind of looked around the area. Of course, it was really busy because of the festival, but it really puts you into the fall spirit when you go to things like that, or at least with me, it did. So that was kind of our weekend on Saturday, and then we did cook at home, so that was nice. Decided that it was now chili time. I am really weird about food, and let me know in the comments if you guys are like this as well. But with me and food, and my husband just thinks it's silly, but I am a seasonal picky, I don't want to say picky, but I'm a seasonal eater, I guess. I'm a seasonal foodie. I do not like to eat chili or really even vegetable soup, homemade soup, any kind of soups really, unless it is fall or winter or it is just ick out, it's dreary and damp. That is my time where I'm really wanting to have some really good homemade chili. And so Saturday, we were trying to figure out Saturday morning, what are we going to eat for dinner? We're going to pick something up. What sounds good? Do I need to go to the store? And so I mentioned to my husband, I said, it's really cold and it's windy out. It had been pouring down rain, just damp and ick. And I said, how about I make us some chili? And I have everything for it that we need. And I can go ahead and make a really large pot of chili. We can have some to put in the freezer. And so he thought that would be, a great idea. So that's what I did. And I thought this is one way to really start the fall season. I talked to Maddie, my oldest daughter. And for those of you that are new, I have 2 children, and my oldest daughter is 25. She moved last Thanksgiving to South Dakota. And so she called me and she said it wasn't where she lives, but about 4 hours from them, they had their first snow already in October. And so we were talking and I said, what happened to the fall? Because it's like that here. To me, fall is in the 60s, maybe, low 70s. But it went down to the 40s last night, and we're supposed to get that on Monday as well. And then it's supposed to warm up a little bit, but not until the middle of the week, and it's supposed to be in like the low 70s. And it's already, that time of year where it's in between, you don't really know what to wear. But it's like in the morning, we start out with winter clothes, and really in the afternoon, I've still been wearing a hoodie. And my youngest daughter, she is very hot natured and she loves this weather. But even she said on Saturday she didn't want to go anywhere because it was just, cold and dreary. But then we told her, let's go and we can look for a pumpkin. And we looked for pumpkins, didn't find anything we really liked. But we're going to do that again this week. But it's just crazy because it just went from like summer in the upper 90s until now we are highs of 60. We we broke down and turned on our heat this weekend. And I don't like doing that this early either. But I was absolutely freezing. The animals were cold. My daughter was bundled up and she was a little chilly. And my husband finally said, I'm actually a little chilly myself. Let's just, turn on the heat, get the house, warm, and then we can turn it back down. So that's what we did. I was trying to talk him into building our first fire. Usually we don't until early part of, November, middle November. And so he wasn't really into that yet, but somebody had a fire going because I could smell it. We were outside. I could smell the wood. It smelled so good. We had a really small fire pit. So we did that on Saturday for a little bit, or Friday night. I was able to stay outside for a little bit on Friday. And Saturday it had been raining and just real damp in the late afternoon, and so we didn't go outside on Saturday or Sunday. Sunday was even colder, Sunday afternoon. So I primarily this weekend, I straightened the house up some. I got all my fall Scentsy warmers out. Didn't realize how many that I had. So they'll stay out all of the rest of October, all of November, and then the first part of December, I will get out my Christmas Scentsy warmers. I love candles, and I have a lot of candles out now. But when my youngest was little, I had to put my candles up, or at least put them up extremely high, because she did not understand what it was, to be safe, that if she touched a candle, she could possibly get burned, it's going to hurt her. And she's special needs. It was really hard to get that for her to understand that for a long, long time. And so I went with Scentsy candles or Scentsy warmers because it wasn't a candle, but it was the next best thing. The wax doesn't get hot to where she's not going to burn herself. And so I just invested in several Scentsy burners. So that way I had a variety. So now I still use them. I love them. And I still purchase every year. I try to get something different. Hadn't decided if I want to get a new one for Christmas or not. But, we'll see. They haven't gotten anything out yet that I've seen that I'm interested in. So I may not buy anything, but I do have my candles out now. She is 22. She understands, not to touch candles. She even can light candles now with the long lighters. So I love my candles. My kids always give me candles for gifts. And when we went to Bath and Body Works, I had to go through and sniff all the Halloween candles and the fall candles. And so that was a lot of fun. And so now we'll be looking for Christmas candles and Christmas body wash. Paige and I plan on doing that sometime in early part of November. So that's something that we do together too. We all three of us just love Bath and Body Works. Kind of a scary place for us to go because when we do, I always spend way too much, but I don't go that often. So I guess that's okay. I hope you guys can see me if you like to watch or if you look up every now and then. I just have this one small corner left. So I'm kind of all over the place on this one section. It was actually two sections that I opened up. This is a lot of confetti at the top of this canvas. It has been part confetti, part color blocking on this entire canvas. But now I've gotten to the top of the canvas and there's quite a bit of confetti, which means I am changing colors quite a bit. So I just made this section larger so that when I am doing confetti, I can just spread around and not have to change colors as much. I know that some people, when they work on confetti and they see that their canvases are very confetti heavy, that they like to make their sections smaller. And of course, I have to be different. I feel like that if I work on a larger section, open up a section, make it larger, then I can go faster because I'm not changing out colors as much. And this credenza has really helped. So whenever I work on another canvas that I know is going to be extremely confetti heavy, that all of my drills will fit in here or all the colors will, I'm going to use this because I can leave it out. I have several trays at one time on my table. I don't have to worry about small children, and my dogs never jump on my table. My cat will, but she is not down here that often. She is still scared of our youngest dog, who's 3, but she's a big dog. She is still very hyper at times. She's active. When she barks, she is extremely loud. And so it still scares poor Salem. And she'll come down here and peep around and she'll start wagging her tail. She'll get close to Molly and they kind of sniff of each other. And then Molly will bark or she'll start wanting to play and it scares the cat. So she flies upstairs and doesn't come back. And I'm usually down here when I'm diamond painting or if I'm making cards or whatever. And the dogs will stay down here with me because they love the basement. That is their room. They sleep down here. They will not sleep upstairs, which I guess is, a good thing. I don't have that much dog hair upstairs, but the cat hair is like overpowering us right now. She is shedding so bad. She had these huge clumps on her, and my husband is the only one that can really get these clumps out, and she'll only do it for a short time. So he has to get her when she's really tired, when she wants to curl up with him on the couch or in the recliner, and she wants to take a nap. And so he can get the clumps out. But we have cat hair. I think we could create a whole nother cat with all of the cat hair that I am having to sweep up. So Paige and I have been sweeping every single day, at least once a day, sometimes more, just because of all of Salem's hair. And I know I need to take her and have her groomed. But to do that requires that we give her gabapentin, which is kind of like it's supposed to calm her, but it doesn't calm her. It actually just pretty much sedates her to where she's very lethargic. She's just very limp. And the first time we did it, it really scared me. So I hate doing that, but it's the only way that we can give her shots to her, and it's the only way that she will let anybody groom her. So that's what we're probably going to have to do, because she needs to be cut down, and I don't think that my husband can do that. I don't think that would be a very good idea for him to do, and we don't have like all the tools and everything to groom her. So more than likely, we're going to have to take her in. And I guess that's okay. It just makes me so sad that we have to sedate her and to give her gabapentin. We have to give it to her twice, once the day before that she has a procedure done, and then once of the day of the procedure, just so she's okay. And then they have to do it fairly quickly. They can't just wait. So I just have to make sure that we tell our groomer, make sure that Salem is going to be the first one that you get to. So you can get to her, you can take care of her, and you're done. And so that's what they do. And they're normally closed on Mondays. So they have once a month, they will have cat grooming, and they only allow, I think, 3 or 4 cats. And they do have the cats to where they only have 1 cat there. They don't want to have more than that, because, cats can be really funny. And so there's no dogs there. It's just a couple of the owners that are there, and that's it. And so we trust them, and my husband will go up there. He stays up there with her in case they need, help, and he'll often hold her. He comes home, he is just covered in cat hair, but he doesn't mind, because that's his girl. He's not as close to the dogs as he is to the cat, so that's something that we're going to have to do soon, which I am really, really dreading. Not one of those fun things, but it's something that we have to do as a responsible pet owner. And we do need to get her shaved down, not completely, but she has got layers and layers of hair, very thick black hair. And she's a short-haired cat, so I cannot imagine what a long-haired cat would be like. This is the only cat I've ever owned, but I can just imagine that there would be so much hair and dander, and that would be really tough. So that's kind of what's going on with us on the animal front. Hopefully, I have closed the door in my craft room, and I am right outside of our furnace. So when the furnace comes on for the heat, it is really loud, and I quit doing videos down here last year in the winter because you could hear the roaring in the background. No matter what I did when I edited my videos, I cannot get that roaring out. I could get it a little better, but not great, so I quit doing that. And then I thought, well, I'm going to close the door in my craft room, and then I am just going to turn the heat down really low upstairs so the heat will not come on until I finish my videos. So I did that, but since it was so cold this morning, we got up and it was 42 degrees. And it was really cold in the basement, even with, it does get the heat in the one room. I didn't turn it down as low as I probably should have, so it may end up coming on. And if you hear my dogs, they are not fighting, they are playing. When they play, it sounds like they're going to eat each other up, and they're wagging their tails and they're, kissing each other, and they just absolutely love each other, but that's how they play. So it sounds like they're really aggressive playing, but they're honestly not. So don't worry if you hear that in the background. It is just them being a little rambunctious. They were outside for a while. I had to basically bribe them to get them in the house because they love the cold weather, but I don't want them out there when it's this cold because they come in and they're shivering, and then it takes forever for them to get warm. And I need to take them in for grooming as well. But we're going to be going out of town in November, and so I do not want to have them groomed, pay all the money, for a nice bath and everything, and then they come back from the pet hotel that we take them, and they are just grubby and grungy, and they stink because they're around other dogs. They don't play with other dogs. I mean, they're in, a pet place, a pet hotel, and they get to run around. Where we take them, they call it a spa. So they get a spa day, and they have a doggy door where they can go in and out during the day. But as soon as it is dusk out, they lock the doggy door, and then they will walk them before bed, and they can go in and out all day, and it's a constant thing, and they're out most of the time, but they're out just the two of them together. They don't go. We could opt to have them with a play date is what they call it, and I don't want them around other dogs, and that's extra anyway. For them to socialize, it costs more, and so they're fine just the two of them together, and they don't get bored. They have toys there. And sometimes they don't even want to come home. They look at us like, okay, well, we're glad to see you. You can leave now. We're going back. And every time that we take them, they get all excited when they realize where they are. And it's really hard for us to tell them bye because they're ready to go back into their little play area. They have a TV in all of the rooms for the animals, and they can watch whatever they want to. You tell them what channel to put it on. They had it on the Animal Planet the first time that we took them. Well, Molly didn't like the Animal Planet. She got really upset. They couldn't figure out why she was so unhappy, and they turned the TV off, and she was fine. So she was scared of all of the animal noises on Animal Planet. So they ended up changing it and put it to Disney. And so whenever they had it on Disney, she loved it. She was so happy, and they just kept it on Disney the whole time. They have made a note in our files to not have it on Animal Planet because my dogs don't like Animal Planet, which I thought was really funny. And then they also have it where we can check in on them. They have cameras, so we can check in. And every time that I checked in on them, they were outside just living their best life. So it doesn't worry me as much when we go out of town. I still miss them. I still worry about them. But I know they're in a good place. It's their little home away from home. Not that we ever go anywhere. We may go somewhere twice a year, and so they'll go there. And Salem will just accept it. She's not real happy about being in the cat room, but they have like different things the cats can climb on, a cat tree, and different toys and stuff. And they each have their own little cat hotels, what they call it. It's really nice. She has plenty of room in there, and They're really good to her. They only let one cat out at a time because, you know, a lot of cats do not do well with others, and she certainly would not. So they let her out. She goes directly to the cat tree, and she's up there looking out and wagging her tail. And she seems to be okay, but she kind of gives them grief sometimes. They have to have these huge gloves they put on that goes all the way up from their fingers to all the way almost to their neck, literally, their shoulder blades. And so they use that, and because they were scared because she hisses sometimes. So they just left her crate open, and she would get out of her little hotel, and then getting her back in, they said definitely was a challenge. But they just rattled the treat container, and she would decide, I think it's time to get off of the cat tree and it is time for food. So giving her food, especially a treat, would get her back in. So they've got that one figured out now. So now we just have to figure out what we're going to do on our vacation. We don't like to go anywhere in the summer. We very much enjoy going in the fall and the winter. We love going to the mountains. That is our thing. And that's where we're going to go. We got married in the mountains, and so that's just the thing we like to do. Paige loves doing that. We have a cabin that we rent every year, and we were staying at this one place for the past several years, and they have pretty much sold the majority of their rentals, which was okay, but it was in a perfect location for us. We liked the cabins, and we just kept having more and more trouble trying to find a place to stay in that particular area. And then it got to where the cabins that we could rent in the same area that we had been renting for so many years, they decided, well, we're going to have a minimum of 5 days, that you have to stay here at least 5 days. And then starting in October until January, it was 7 days. You had to stay there, commit to a week. It was more expensive. And so we decided we don't stay a week. You know, we stay a few days, just a long weekend, usually just maybe from Fridays until a Monday, or just a weekend. And so we don't need 7 days. That's, you know, more than what we want to pay for what, you know, we're going there for. And so last year, we hadn't been in a couple of years, and Dave, my husband, was talking to somebody at his job, and they said, you should try this place. It's mostly rentals, and it is very clean. It is very nice. It's a gorgeous location. They do not require a certain number of days, but it's hard, you know, it's getting harder to be able to get a cabin there because it's so popular. And it was a little further from where we normally stay, about 25 minutes or so. But we thought, well, okay, we'll check there. And we were able to get a place. And the cabin that we stayed in was just amazing. It was on the top of the mountain. The view was absolutely gorgeous. You can see the entire city from the cabin. And it's in a different city than where we normally stay. So we were a little concerned because we had our favorite places that we like to eat, and we just, you know, weren't really sure. But we thought, you know what, why not? It's a good price, and we just wanted to go for a long weekend. And so we absolutely loved it. Found a couple of new places to eat that was also recommended. And so now where we're going actually has a Buc-ee's. And if you've never heard of Buc-ee's, the best way I can tell you is that it is a huge, it's not a truck stop, but it's, if you wanted to call it that, a truck stop, a big convenience store for cars. No trucks are allowed. You can get gas there. They have so many bathroom stalls. I mean, it was incredible. They had over 90 stalls in the one place that we had gone to. It wasn't in the mountains, but it was somewhere else. And my daughter actually sat there and she's like, no way. She has this thing about bathrooms anyway. She likes to go in any place that we go, she likes to go and inspect their bathrooms. And she has always done this ever since she was a little kid, since she was like 3. And my sister used to do the same thing. And we would always joke with my sister that, you could actually, as many bathrooms as you have been in, and as critical as you are with all the bathrooms, your critiques, then you could write a book on different bathrooms and it would be a hit. And so my sister always said, that would be something I could always fall back on. And so I told Paige, and even Madison too, like to do that. And Madison wants to write a book someday. And I said, you and your sister and your aunt should collaborate and write a book on bathrooms. So she had to critique and she had to tell her sister all about Buc-ee's and the bathroom stalls. And she even wanted to take a photo in the bathroom. And I said, you can't do that because there's other people in there and, privacy. They may not want to be seen in a bathroom in Buc-ee's, even if you only got their feet. And I said, they may wonder what you're doing, and it may get really awkward. No, we're not taking a picture of Buc-ee's bathroom. But you can write about it, and you can tell your sister about it. We can talk about it. So we kind of did that when we were going through Georgia one time, and we stopped by Buc-ee's. And so now my oldest says she's going to have to go to a Buc-ee's sometime because we've been talking about it so much. But they have opened a Buc-ee's close to where we're going to go. And so we're going to have to stop in Buc-ee's. We're going to have to get us a shirt. And we've already put that down on our list. And then we know where we're going to eat. So all that's planned out. And you guys won't even know when I'm gone because I've already have videos I'm working on, or I will be working on because it's still a ways before we leave. And so I'll have all my videos up, and then whenever we come back, then I'll have to tell you about our adventures. I did this last year on my Christmas videos, and I even posted some photos, so I'll do that this year. And especially for those that are members on my channel. And going into the members on my channel, I have Deborah, who I appreciate so much for trusting me and being the first to sign up as a member. And I am not sure if I'm going to continue the membership underneath YouTube or if I'm going to, instead of having a YouTube membership, actually have a Patreon, because I did not realize, and I did a lot of research on this before I decided what I wanted to do, but with the YouTube membership, you do pay a small amount for that. It's the same as you would for Patreon. But it is more limited on the membership than I thought it was. Things that I have prepared and to put on the membership, it just won't take it. It takes forever, and then I have to make changes. It doesn't like something, and it's just not working the way that I thought that it would. So I am experimenting with Patreon, just seeing what I can do, seeing if that's what I really want to do. I am a member of a couple of, or I should say subscriber of a couple of Patreons, and I can see what they can do, and it just seems more user-friendly. There's more that you can do with it, and so I may end up not having the membership with my YouTube, but going through Patreon. So I will let you guys know. I will also make sure that I discuss this with Deborah. I want to get her feedback. So if you're listening, Deborah, if you could send me an email, I would really appreciate it. The thing is too, with the memberships with YouTube, I cannot see any information. I can't see names that have subscribed. The only reason why I knew I had one, and it gave me a message that, I have a new member, but it didn't tell me who it was. And so I finally was able to see that after about 4 days. It finally showed me who the member was, but it doesn't give any information on how to connect to the member. And Deborah, I know, is on Facebook, underneath the Crafty Diamond Facebook, because she does post quite a bit there. And so that's one way that I can get in touch. But if it's somebody else, may not know. And I have researched and tried my best to figure out how I can get more information off of my membership tab. And it's just not doing very much. So I'm not happy that I started something that I did not really check into like I should have, I guess, before I started it. But that is something that I never do, and I don't know why that I did not see some of this. But sometimes you don't see things until after the fact, I guess. And that's a lot of how YouTube is. It's a lot of learning, big learning curve. It has taken me well over a year, and I'm still learning different things with YouTube that I could do that I didn't know that I could. So it's going to be probably a learning curve for a while too, but I don't know if I want to continue with that learning curve. So let me know what all of you think. If you've been a member of YouTube on another channel, or Patreon, and how you liked it. Because I just can't, there's some things that I said I wanted to do and it's just not letting me. So let me know what you guys think. And if I decided to do Patreon, it's going to look a little different than the membership. And membership to YouTube and subscribing to YouTube are two entirely different aspects. When you subscribe to my channel, it is free. So for those of you that have not subscribed, if you like what you see and what you hear on my channel, you can click on the subscribe button. And again, it's completely free. And then you will receive notifications that I have uploaded a video. And if you click on the bell notification, you will be immediately notified when I have new content coming out. So that is what subscribing is. There's also a join button, and the join button is to become a member of my channel. And that's where you do pay a small fee. There are perks to that. The money funds that I get back from that goes directly into my channel and to purchase new products. I want to try out some new to me companies next year, and I will be able to do that based on money that I get coming in from my channel. And I also put my personal funds in as well, because as many kits as I have bought and small shop hauls and different things like that, there's no way that I'm getting that from YouTube. Because having a small channel, I do get a little back from YouTube because of the ads, but it's not much, guys. I mean, it is really not much. I know that in the past, I've heard that some people say, well, content creators, they get all this money for doing this, and they should be, glad that we're watching our channel. And I am ecstatic seeing others watch my channel and like my videos and, post comments, or even if you don't post a comment, if you just click on that like button, that helps me more than you could ever imagine. But we do not get money from YouTube. This is not a business that we are just getting, money in from to do the videos. Sometimes I don't even get anything a month because you have to have a certain amount before YouTube will even give the funds out. And I'm okay with that. I am not here for the money at all. But anything, it does help to where I'm not putting all of my funds in. But anyway, I'm moving on. I just wanted to let you guys know what the difference is and how it may change into Patreon instead of YouTube. I just thought it'd be easier for YouTube because it's all in one. It's all there. It's, connected to YouTube. I don't have to worry about it. But Patreon also seems to be really easy and more intuitive. So we will see. I will keep you posted, and I will decide before the next payment is coming due for my join. We'll definitely let everybody know once I make that decision. But I would love to hear privately from Deborah. I hope you don't mind me calling you out. Your name is also up underneath the last section of my videos right at the end to thank you for joining, and I really do appreciate it. Let's see, what else did we do this week, and what am I doing coming up? I am going to be out all day on Tuesday due to work. We have a professional development meeting, and it's almost 2 hours away from the house. So I have to get up super early and leave. And I'm going to stop by Starbucks on my way out because that will give me a really good incentive to get up early, have my coffee, be able to drink my coffee. And then by the time I get there, I will probably be running to the bathroom because all that coffee will go through me. But I will definitely need coffee to keep up with an all-day professional development. We'll have activities and things. The one really good thing about it is that we are able to wear jeans, and as long as we wear swag from our university, then we can wear hoodies if we want to, or sweatshirts. And it's going to be really cold where I am going to have to go. So I am going to wear a sweatshirt, and also I'm going to wear a t-shirt with our school information on there. And so that way, if I get hot, I can take that off and I'll be fine. But at least we can wear jeans. We don't have to dress up. And especially even better that we can wear our school swag. So that'll be fun. I am single placing most of this because a lot of what I have done so far has just been 1 or 2 offs. And if I just have two symbols next to each other, I really don't even bother with my multiplacer. And I know I can do it. And I know that I could just put 2 on there. And if I wanted to, I could put more, and then I could just be able to go to another one that's close by. But I don't even bother with that. I just do it my way. I guess it would be a little bit faster, but I'm not really worried about that right now. And I'll do that sometimes if I am diamond painting, just hanging out in my room diamond painting and not filming or anything. But a lot of times I just don't bother. But that's just me. And some of this is just a little tight, but these fit in just so wonderfully. I was really concerned when I saw this one. I knew immediately when I saw it, I wanted it. Especially, it was coming out, give the preview for that week, and this was the one that I really wanted of Cheryl Baker's. But then I saw that it was square, and there wasn't an option. It was square. And the last couple of squares that I have done of Diamond Art Clubs, they were so tight to where I had to oftentimes force the square in, or just really have to work hard to get the squares in. It was hard to multi-place. I had some of the squares popping because they were so close and so tight. And so I was not sure if I was going to get this kit. And I thought, I really want it. If I want this kit, I'm going to have to just suck it up and go with the squares. I heard that the squares had improved from Diamond Art Club from the last kit that I did. And so I went ahead and went for it. And I am so glad that I did. I know that they have changed their drills several times. I think this is one of their newer kits. I'm hoping that the majority of the ones that I've purchased recently that are squares are going to be like this one. And if they are, I will be so happy, because these are really good squares. They look good. It's shiny. Now you are seeing my diamond painting upside down because I work from the bottom up. I've never worked from the top down. I never have. I may do that on one of my next kits just to see if I like it better. But that's how I started. I start with the bottom left and just work my way across and then up. But I may just be a rebel, and I may just decide I'm going to start from the top and work my way down. Especially for a larger canvas, I could see that, to where it's better to have in your lap the drills instead of just having it hanging off the table. So, I kind of get that, but I don't know. So how do you guys usually work? Do you just start wherever that is your fancy, or do you have a specific way that you do it? I almost decided on this one to do his face first and then work around from there. And then I thought, no, I want to do his face last, because that'll be a great incentive to get his face done. And it was. Once I got closer to his face, I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to work on another kit. I wanted to work on just this one. I thought that, I just kept saying, well, I'm getting closer, I'm getting closer. One more row, one more row, one more section, and then I will change and I will work on a different kit. And I did that a little bit, but I just kept going back to this one. And so now I am so close to finishing, I thought I might as well just go ahead and finish this last row. So this will be done. And then I am going to spin a wheel. I have a decision wheel. I have all my WIPs loaded up on my decision wheel. And so I'm going to do that whenever I can have time to work on a diamond painting. I will spin the wheel, and that's the kit I will work on for that day. And I thought about doing an entire row, but I have so many WIPs right now that if I just do a row at a time, I will never get back to any of the others. Or when I get to one, it will take me forever to get back to it. So I just put it in my decision wheel, and I'll be doing that. I think that will be kind of fun. But I will stick with just one for my WIP and Chats. So you will see one until it's done. So that one I will focus on more so than the others. I don't know which one yet. And then in November, and that'll be coming up soon, Angie's Crafting with Diamonds, and myself are co-hosting an event, and I am going to put some information regarding the event that is going to come in whenever I am done or close to it, and with the WIP and Chat, and I'll let you know. It gives information on the actual event. It's going to run from November to the end of December. We do have a code, a discount code from DP with Sparklers, and that is Tmall. She is one of our sponsors, and the code is JWAL10. I will put that up in the description, and she just kept it JWAL10 because that was our code for the Josephine Wall event that she also sponsored. So she just gave us the same code that we had, and it is effective starting October the 15th. So it's already up by the time that you see this. And if you want to get some special drills, some sparklers, A, B, she also has fairy dust, which I want to get so badly. And you can use those to bling out your canvas. And we're only requiring that you have more of special drills than what the canvas came with. So for instance, this canvas had 4 special drills. And so if I wanted to use this one, I would have had to have had at least 5. So I'd have to add, another more. And we're not really saying how much more, but you need to have more than what came with the kit. We're not going to be policing what you're doing. It's going to be a very casual event. I think it'll be really nice to finish up the year like that. You can use any canvas that you want. It just cannot be a horror or a dark canvas. We want it to be a very happy, fun time. I know which one I'm going to do, and over the next couple of weeks, I will be unboxing mine and also kitting up. And I may kit up in these trays. I'm not sure yet, because if I kit up in these trays, my credenza, then I cannot take it with me if I decide to take it when we go out of town. This is a very heavy credenza. I don't want it to get broken, and I also do not want to drop it and lose all my drills. So this is something that has to stay on my desk in my house and does not get moved. So I'm not really sure yet. I'll have to think about that, but the time I go to kit it up, I will let everybody know. I would like to use an Elizabeth Ward container, but that depends on if I can empty out one of mine that I have drills in that I have not even started on that canvas. I may end up moving that one and put my other one in my Elizabeth Ward containers. So we'll decide. I'll figure it out. But this definitely will be finished probably today. I won't get it finished on the WIP and Chat, but I think that this will be finished later today or even tonight. I don't have time to finish it today because I do have some work I need to do. Even though it's on a Sunday, I still have work I got to get to. I need to look at. I need to start really focusing on my upcoming classes that's going to start in January. And I want to get that done so I'm not rushing. And I like to do that when I'm at home because it's quiet. I don't have to do it in my office. Then sometimes it's easier to plan my office because I have 2 widescreen monitors, which I love. Makes a big difference than to have just my laptop. Let me know if you have any questions on either the upcoming event, or I do have an event that I have not really marketed yet, and I will soon, probably in December, but I am going to have the Paint Gym minis. That's going to be in February. So if you are not sure what you would like for Christmas, you may want to think about Paint Gyms. They're so much fun and they're small. I thought that would be great to start the year off with. And so that was going to be a really fun one, very laid back on that particular event as well. This is so cute, and I'm so close, but we are running into our hour. I don't want to keep you guys. I also have other videos that I want to go ahead and start working on. I would like to have my videos up for the week, just at least have them recorded, and then I can do my editing during the week. But I'm kind of using Sunday afternoon for that. I think that's going to work out very well for me. I hope that you enjoyed our time together. Hope this gives you a good start to your week. And if you were working on something, hope you were able to get something done. Or if you just wanted to relax, that you were able to clear your mind and just listen to me babble on and work on my gorgeous professor. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.